It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Odd Island Brewing and it's their Empire Imperial Stout. It's a Swedish craft beer, 330 milliliter can, and the Imperial Stout itself is coming in at 8.5%. I want to say a massive thank you to Håkan in Sweden for sending us the beer. It was part of a Christmas calendar that turned up early January, so we missed the Christmas calendar, but getting around to the beers, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I've been kind of eyeing it up in the bar for a while and like, gotta get round to it. So Håkan, thank you very much for your patience. Finally round to it. Without further ado, let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. Oh, look at that, I'm going rigorous. I'm going a rigorous pour with this one. Look at that. 8.5% ABV. They give the IBUs. No IBUs, but look at that. I'm a massive fan of Imperial Stout, especially from the wonderful Scandinavian countries. I actually tried to coin a phrase, Scandinavian style Imperial Stout, because I firmly believe the Scandinavians brew the best Imperial Stout in the world. They really do. The quality of these beers is just insane. It's just insane. Look at it. I've not put it to my nose. I've not tasted anything. Just look at this beer. It's what they do. It's like the fantastic Saab cars that used to... I had a Saab. You know, they just work. They just, you know, it's just a great car that just worked. But this is, you know, Swedish beer, Norwegian beer, Danish beer. They just know how to brew Imperial Stouts. It's these beautiful chocolatey, tan-coloured heads with a jet black beer in the glass. Look at the way we're rolling the beer back and forth in the glass. You can see that carbonation chasing the head of the glass. It just really looks wonderful. There's no light bleeding through at all. Let's get the aroma. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. A little bit of vinous quality coming through, a little bit of chocolate, coffee, caramel, plum, fig and prune. You can probably really tell in this review that I'm a fan of Imperial Stouts, and I've not had an Imperial Stout in a while because I'm kind of like dancing around it. I can feel it. I can feel it in myself. I can feel I'm on the tips of my toes. I'm walking around the kitchen on my toes just in anticipation for this beer. I'm really looking forward to it. Bit of coconut. A little bit of vanilla. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it's just. Oh. It's so good. So good. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a really, really, really good beer. Lovely. I'm going to start from the back because that's what I'm tasting right now, and start from the back and roll back for you. Right at the end of the taste, I'm picking up this kind of lingering bitterness that's just rolling and rolling and rolling. You're getting some chocolate, coffee and caramel flavours from the roasted malt they've used in the beer. If you think mouthfeel, that's kind of like right at the start. So I'm skipping the malt a little bit here. I hope you're all with me. So it's got this really creamy, rich mouthfeel. You can see that. I could see it had a really rich, creamy mouthfeel without even tasting the beer. You've only got to roll that beer around. You've only got to rock it back and forth. You can see the mouthfeel for yourselves. there's a slight delay when you rock the beer. The carbonation is chasing it. There's a slight delay of the head and the carbonation. You can see it there, and that's a sign of really, really good mouthfeel in the beer. So a nice rich mouthfeel. If you think of coffee and chocolate and caramel, coffee I like a latte, big thick mouthfeel on a latte. Chocolate, yes, great big thick mouthfeel on chocolate. It's sticky and lovely. A little bit of sweet caramel, same thing. It's just that beautiful kind of like toffee hammer toffee that is coming through in the beer. The hops, that bitterness at the back end, that kind of delivers in a plum and a fig and a prune flavour. It's just lovely. It just really is lovely. Instead of giving off, if this was like an Imperial IPA, with the light malts used in the beer, you'd be getting passion fruit, mango and grapefruit. But because of the roasted malt in the beer, because they've used a roasted malt, it changes the hop profile of the flavour of the hop. And it just comes through for me. Everyone's different, but this comes through as me as a vinous, like a good kind of red wine quality, a plum or a fig or a prune. It's so good. It's such a good beer, this. It's such a good beer. I just know the reason why it's taken me a few months really to get round to this beer is because as a rule, as beer reviewers, I'm going to let you into a little secret now. As a rule, we generally review the hoppy stuff first. So any kind of IPAs or pale ales we decide to pick up, or, you know, I'm quite lucky, I get sent quite a lot of beer. I try and get the hoppy stuff done first. And of course then, the Imperial Stouts, they suffer a little bit. But they last. And this is the point. This is the reason why you can leave an Imperial Stout a little bit longer. It's because it's not about that hop flavour. It's not about the hop profile. You know, you can really age. If you look at Courage Russian Imperial Stout, you can age bottles of that for 20, 30, 40 years. And it's 10% ABV. I got some cans, some barrel-aged cans of Imperial Stout down there that I was given back in March of 2020. It's now April 2021. But they're 14%. There really isn't no rush for me to dive down into that cupboard and review these Imperial Stouts because they're 14%. They could sit down there for years, literally years, and they would just slowly get better and better. So I'm going to rate this. I'm ready to rate this. It's all in Swedish on the side. No, it's not. It's in English. Lives as musicians have taken us around the globe a few laps, and we've tried a beer or two along the way. And well done, boys. This is our version of what a good quality beer should taste like, a beer for everyone. Odd Island Brewing. This is simply brilliant. And this is their Empire Imperial Stout. I'm going to rate this. I love this beer. I love this beer. I wish I had another one. Quick story before I rate the beer and go away. This reminds me of Sweden. I was in Sweden 18 months ago, nearly 2 years ago now, and I spent my time drinking amazing Imperial Stouts whilst I was there in Sweden at a beer festival. It was Brewskival 2019. Brewskival 2019. One of the last beer festivals I went to before this whole situation kicked off and we all got locked in our homes for such a long time. With no beer festivals. So one of the last beer festivals I went to was one of the most enjoyable beer festivals I've ever went to in my life. And I just spent the day and night. I spent 12-hour days drinking Imperial Stouts. How I did it, I don't know. But I did. And this just reminds me of that. Beautiful beer from Sweden. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.